Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day so far. In today's video, I am going to be showing you how I keep my makeup on all day long and how I keep it on underneath a face mask. So this is going to be a lot of repetitive steps. If you guys are ready, then just keep watching. As always, everything that I use will be listed in the description box. And as you can see, I'm in a new setting here, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm super motivated to get more videos up for you guys and film because it's just so much easier for me to film now. And yeah, so don't forget to like and subscribe before we get started, and let's jump into the video. So the very first step is going to be moisturizing. This is the L'Oreal REVITALIFT moisturizer. Looks like an E.L.F moisturizer. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of this because this is a really thick moisturizer and I don't wanna feel too cakey. And I am going to focus this on areas where I tend to get dry and cakey. So for me, that's like my forehead. Oh, that's nice. Kind of underneath my eyes and my chin area. So I'm gonna rub that in. The next step is to prime your face. This is the Milani Rose Primer Prep and Hydrate. It's very lightweight and is also very moisturizing. However, if you don't like products that have smell to them, you're going to want to stay away from this because this does have a little rosy smell to it. I'm going to focus that a little bit on the rest of my face that I didn't really hit, and I'll work that in towards the moisturizer. Next step is going to be set your face. I know that sounds weird, but it helps if you do a little bit of setting spray before your foundation. So what I'm going to be using today is the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and as you can see, I really like it. And I just kind of spray that all over my face, and I'm going to let it dry. While that's drying, let me tell you about foundation. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. I grabbed the wrong shade, I think, but we will make it work. I always come back to this foundation. This is a great lightweight foundation that gives you a nice medium coverage, and you can kind of build it up to full if you want to. So that's really nice. And I find even the dewy and smooth stays on all day. So I'm just gonna pat out a little bit of that onto my hand. And then I might just mix a little bit of a lighter concealer in right next to it just to fix that tone. And the concealer that I used, that I dabbed right next to it, is the E.L.F Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. So I'm just gonna mix these two together on the back of my hand and dot it on my face. And I will say that E.L.F concealer is what I would consider very full coverage. So I only added in a little bit of a dab there, and that seemed to do the trick. I don't want too much because I don't want my foundation to be feeling full and cakey on top of or underneath a mask. Oh, my watch is vibrating. 2,500 calories burned today. So once that first layer of foundation is on, you're gonna kind of want to look at your mask and see where your mask is gonna be hitting. So for me, it's kind of gonna be my chin, kind of here on my jawline and on my cheeks. You know, obviously that's not on correctly, but those areas that are touching my face, I'm gonna go ahead and apply just another dot or so of foundation, just as a little extra barrier. I'm also going to get the top of my lip and my chin. Alright, so once that second little layer is on, go ahead and give yourself a spritz. Doesn't need to be a face drench, just enough to get your face wet and get it set. Okay, next step is to conceal. You can use whatever concealer you want. I recommend sticking with one that is kind of a little bit more lightweight in terms of feel because we're going to be powdering as well. So I am going to go with this color. This is the shade 10 Fair, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, which I am almost out of, so hopefully I have enough. And I'm kind of just going to be highlighting in areas where I normally would. Then in areas, again, where I know I'm going to have my mask, with the exception of my jawline, I'm going to drag a couple of those dots out there on my cheekbones, and I will make sure that I do my nose and up here as well. Obviously, no one cares about your forehead when it comes to a mask, so just blend that in. But this concealer, I'm kind of going to just drag lightly that extra layer all the way out here. And then I'll work on getting my under eye. So when it comes to doing your makeup to kind of stay under a mask, just remember the focus of it is going to be on your lower face, and it's basically the same idea as putting on makeup that's meant to last all day. You're going to be putting powder on, setting, putting powder on, setting. So I have been using the setting spray set, and now I'm going to use the powder. I normally don't use a setting spray until the very end of my makeup. So for me, that's been the biggest difference, is just having that setting spray before my foundation, after my foundation, and then I powder and spray again. So it's kind of tedious work here, but it's definitely worth it. For under my eyes, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10 Poreless. This is their matte, oh my gosh, in the shade 110 Porcelain. This is their matte and poreless setting powder. So I'm just taking any fluffy brush, and I'm just going to dip into the powder and just kind of really lightly press under my eyes to avoid any creasing. And this, I think, also doubles, it's not really a setting powder. I think it's more of like a foundation powder. This says up to 12-hour wear, so this is a great option if you're looking for that longevity under your mask. And definitely make sure I go over my cheekbone area and the area that I know my face mask will be. I kind of like drag this out further than usual just because it has more coverage to it than a translucent powder will be, or will have, which I'll be using here soon. So make sure you drag that out. And I'll also be setting my jawline with this powder. Whoa, throwing things here. So the next step is going to be loose face powder, translucent powder, whatever you want to call it. This is the AIRSPUN loose face powder in the shade Naturally Neutral, and I'm just going to very carefully open this and use a large fluffy brush to just kind of lightly press over areas of the face that I really didn't set too well with the Maybelline powder. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so messy. And I'm not going to swipe it into my skin, I'm kind of just stippling it in. Alright, you guys already know what's next. It's time to set again with a setting spray. And this is where I'm kind of going to be very generous with it. And fan yourself off until you look dry. For the most part, that is the gist of it. Now you kind of just want to finish off your makeup. If you're applying like contour powder, blush, highlight, definitely go ahead and set it again with a setting spray. Even if you're doing something just light like blush or whatever's going to be on your cheeks, if you're putting makeup on your cheeks, set it again. You can go over it again with a translucent powder and the spray, which is what I do most of the time. Or you can just do the spray, or you can just do the translucent powder. Up to you. Okay, so when all of your face makeup is on, we set one more time. Actually, I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. I'm using just a smidgen wasted a lot, of that translucent powder and just kind of am going to tap, not on my highlight, but on my blush and bronzer. Especially in those areas where my mask will be hitting. So once that's done, we set again. And one of the things that I normally do, which I'm not going to do, is go over my face with the flat edge of the sponge. This helps to kind of soak up excess product, and that's not what we need right now. We need everything on our face to stay on our face. I am just going to finish my brows, put some mascara on, and pop a lip on, and I'll be back to show you the finished look. Alright, so I did my eyebrows and my mascara. The one thing I do want to touch base on though is lips. I definitely don't recommend doing any gloss, any sheen, any regular lipstick that tends to transfer really easy. If it absolutely has to be a lipstick, then I would recommend doing a matte one. Liquid lipsticks are a great alternative to that. However, I don't really like liquid lipstick, so what I've been doing is just applying a layer of chapstick and putting a nude lip liner or whatever color lip liner over it, because those obviously aren't glossy and they're meant to stay on your lips. So the chapstick I'm using is just regular old chapstick. Apply a layer, good. And then I go around my lips first and I fill them in. And then with time, that chapstick will kind of sink into your sips and dry down, into your lips and dry down, and then you'll just have the lip liner and it'll be all fine. So let's put a mask on. This is just a regular fabric mask. Can't talk today. I usually just use like kind of one of the medical looking masks that are blue and just have the ear loops, but this is also an alternative. It's kind of gonna be hard with hoops on, Jesus. Dang it. Yeah, so maybe hoops aren't the best option. So my mask is on, touching my face, and talking, doing things. And we have zero makeup on the mask. So that's the key. Just layer, set, layer, set, layer, set as much as you can, and your makeup will stay on. Try not to be readjusting your face mask too much, because any extra movement of it is gonna, you know, kind of cause some makeup to transfer onto it, which is what we don't want. So avoid that, wear your masks. I hope everyone is staying safe out there. Comment down below. Let me know how you guys are doing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.